When towers up and the sun it dies, till the rivers flood and the ocean dries. Hand in hand under the falling sky, I will love you.
It's gender.
Your gender. Hello and welcome to our marriage show
Yes.
with Eve,
And Steve. Hello, good people.
and we are the
Entwatwas.
Twatwas. We are so excited to be back. Recently on our marriage show, we shared a recap of our 10th anniversary, and we shared why it is very important to do a vow renewal. It worked for us, and we've seen amazing things happen.
It does work indeed.
This journey of the 11th years in marriage, lots of people have been asking us, how have you done it? Muchikola mutia. Like, you know, we are human beings, and I must tell you, it doesn't mean that we don't find challenges. We do find challenges, but the most important thing is how do we navigate these challenges? But also to note that there are lessons that we have to learn. Are there lessons that you have learned?
Yes,
Mr.
indeed.
Antwatwa?
Marriage being a beautiful thing, it is mixed with, it has mixed emotions. We have learned a lot of things, a lot of experiences that have brought us to this level. There's no way you can get here when you have not tasted the bad and the good. But above everything, once you have God with you, trust me, you will move and get to this time.
Yeah.
Part of the lessons that we have gotten alongside my wife are some that include working together. You cannot run away from working together, because once the two get married, they become one.
Yeah, true.
So there's no way you're going to get married and then run away from working together. That means sharing spaces. So it includes dividing chores and working together. It also includes managing. We learned how to manage finances together.
Before you go to finances, honey, you
Yes.
talked about managing, like working in the same space, like sharing same space.
Yes.
I imagine when you've just gotten married, you're used to sleeping in your own bed
Exactly.
alone. So here you are, and you have to share a bed.
You have a special position where
Yeah.
you say, one will never one. But then here it comes and you have to share that space
Yeah, true.
with someone. It is really important to have yourself set to ensure that you can compromise and have be selfless to let your spouse enjoy your space.
So you talked about managing finances.
Yes.
Then.
It talked about managing finances and being understanding. Being understanding calls us to understand your spouse. What makes them angry, what makes them happy. Because that is very key in this journey.
True.
This journey is fueled with love and happiness. So it requires you to live every moment happy. So when the time of happiness is out, it requires you to support.
Yeah.
So that means you have to be present physically, to understand, to take time and study your partner, what really has gone wrong, and be intentional to find out, why is she not happy? Why is she happy? So then you can celebrate that moment when you are together.
You talk about celebrating, not celebrating, you talked about learning our differences.
Yes.
I realize, like, as a couple, or any other, like, married couple,
Yes.
we cannot be the same. It's quite difficult to find a couple that your needs or your likes are the same as mine.
Yes.
So we understand each other, but also remembering that when we come into marriage, there are things that as a person, as a woman, that I have known about myself. But then there are things that I have not known about myself. And it's only marriage that is going to reveal those things about me. So basically in that time, I expect my husband to support.
Yes.
And then I also support him.
Yes.
But also, as we talk about lessons, I have learned to set boundaries. You know, when we get married, there are a number of times when we just do things, when we just want to do things anyhow. Like, you know, you're used to your single life, you want to, you know, bring all your friends.
Yes, lack of sensitivity.
Lack of sensitivity. You want to do things that are comfortable for you.
Yeah.
But I learned to set boundaries. Boundaries with your workmates, boundaries with your husband, like knowing where not to cross. Like, you know, because like I get used to you and I
Yes.
feel like I can say anything.
Yeah.
Do I just have to talk to my husband anyway that I
Anyhow.
want? So we need to set boundaries. I have learned that it's very, very, very key. But also handling conflicts. Guys,
It's very important.
that
Conflicts. Actually, this journey is a journey of continuous forgiveness.
yeah, true.
Because the fact that we are human and we come from different family backgrounds, we are bound to conflict.
To conflict.
And
yeah.
that you must embrace every challenge that comes in to harmonize it as a couple, not individually, but do not even point fingers, but to handle it
As a couple.
As a couple.
Yeah,
Yes, my
true.
darling.
But also, I have learned, I guess you've also learned that
Yeah.
managing expectations. Trust me, friends, when we get married, or even before we get married,
Yes.
we come with our expectations. And these expectations
Lots of them.
really vary. Sometimes we have them in our year of marriage, the very first year of marriage,
Yes.
sometimes in the 50th year or 10th year or so many years. But why they vary is because naturally as people, we do change. Things change. I came in as a very young girl,
Yeah.
all beautiful,
23,
all
figure 8.
figure 8.
Yeah.
But now look at me. After having children, you've all gained weight, and
Yes.
then your expectation is for your husband
Yes.
to love you the way you are.
To
And
appreciate
when
you.
that expectation is not met, trust me, a marriage is bound to fail
and
or
fail.
struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true. Expectation today is our major focus.
Today,
Among all the things that we've learned, we're going to focus on expectation because we have observed that if expectations are not met, a number of marriages struggle.
yeah, true.
To that, we shall give you reference to some of our experience during our 11 year of marriage. When we had just gotten married, me and my wife were employed.
Yeah.
And my wife was working or still working in her business
Yeah,
that we
true.
started. And then me as an individual, I was working with UNRWA.
Yeah.
And time came when my wife expected me to be physically present
True.
because physical presence is key when you are married, because
Yeah.
the marriage, I take it as a baby, you're supposed to handle it. It is very delicate
In steps.
in steps. So my wife expects me to be present. And here reality sets in and I've got to be away for about 5 days.
Let me tell you,
Yes.
my husband would travel on a Monday, comes back on a Friday. When he comes back on Friday, that's when he has engagements, he has family meetings, he has things to do. Trust me, in that first years of our marriage, it was a struggle. Like any other young girl who has just gotten married, I really thought that he's going to give me that support when he comes back. It's all going to be lovey-dovey. We are going to be all over each other.
Yes.
But most of the times when he came back, he's very tired. I don't know if people who work in
Roads construction.
yeah, like he could really show me that he's very tired. So it affected really our intimate life. It affected how we should have done life. And trust me,
There was a gap.
there was a gap. There was a big gap, and most of the times I would wish, and I remember praying to God, and I'm like, God, if this is where my marriage is going,
Yes.
how I pray that my husband is what is relocated at least to town, because I was missing him. He comes back on a Friday, all the days of the weekend he's busy, and then Monday he has to go back. So you feel like he's leaving, but he's leaving you empty.
Yes.
So
And
that was a big struggle for
And
me.
in that scenario, because my wife, during dating, my expectation is she did understand me.
I know.
I am working up country, I'm an engineer, so from time to time, I will be assigned work in different areas. And to my understanding, I know that what I am doing, I am bringing bread home. So I expect my wife to be understanding that I'm away for 5 days, and I'll be back. I'll be back on Saturday and Sunday. So to my disappointment is she's not understanding that I'm the breadwinner.
Yeah.
That I have to work and then come back. But to her also disappointment is I'm not giving her
enough time. He was not giving me enough time. I actually remember, let me share this. I remember that every time he was leaving, he could come to work, and then he says where I used to work from, and he would say, oh honey, it's time for me to leave.
Yes.
Would you say a prayer for me?
Yes.
And truthfully, I said the prayers, and then afterwards I would just cry. Not that I didn't trust God, that my husband is going to go work and then come back home, but the fact that I felt a void in me, I felt a gap. Until someday I was, just sharing with my family, and then my mother told me, but Eve, there are men who go and they never come back, and then also there are those who go and work for like months and months, but if it's just a week, please be patient, and you will get through it. Trust me, I think really God helped me. I stayed strong until
till now. Yes.
Till now.
Yeah. It is really very interesting. We really thank God that during that time of to and fro, it was a time of discomfort for our marriage.
Yeah.
And it was taking toll on both of us because it was wearing me down and it was wearing our relationship with my wife. But we both had to wait on the Lord and be patient and be intentional that when I am available, I am truly available for my wife. So that requires you, our viewer, to ensure that whatever you do, even if it is one day, be available.
Be fully present.
Be fully present. Be intentional to help out where you feel there is a gap.
I actually remember a scenario where we would be seated maybe in our bedroom, and then I'm thinking, oh, he's now here, we are going to be chatting, maybe talk or share, like those moments where he has been, where I have been. And then he would look at the time and says, oh, it's midnight. My God. That would frustrate me. I'm like, we are here, let's share the moments. And then he's looking at the time, showing me that it's late, I'm supposed to sleep because tomorrow I'm supposed to wake up very early and go to work. So that really frustrated me until I told him, you know what, I'm getting this clock out of our bedroom.
When time is up and the sun it dies, until the rivers flood and the ocean dries. Hand in hand under the falling